Okay, so there is an ongoing problem in the land of Oz. And it's a problem because in previous videos I have told you I have to keep all 3 of his entrance gates locked with a padlock and a chain because there was a circus here before. People would come and go as they pleased. People would steal from this man, vandalize his property, like all hours, any time you could think of the day and night, they would try to come up here. They would sneak through the pasture from the road to steal out of the barn and the garage and everything. Nothing was secure here. So, chain and padlocks, all 3 gates. Well, I still haven't seen it, but supposedly there's a lease for grazing. I have seen nothing in writing about this, but that's a whole nother problem. Anyway, so these guys that are leasing this place with their cows, I guess they pay a set amount now. Before, we've been told this entire time that he got something to do with he got hooked up on his taxes every year, an ag exemption or something for the cows being on the property. He already has 2 horses, but it did something good for his taxes every year. I don't know how long the term is, but it ends in 2027. So these guys, this whole time, which I've got video and pictures, have been having cows on the property. They're supposed to take care of the fence. I've done that multiple times. They barely ever answer their phone. But they were moving cows in and out of here like it was weird. It was really weird. And they would come do this at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., and their gate, the 3rd gate, nobody goes in and out of but them, really. Now I've started using it, though. But this 3rd gate, they weren't locking it. And I didn't realize it. I figured they would be locking it so no one could, just come take their cows whenever they wanted to. Well, I brought it up time and time again with his guardianship attorney. And I asked him who is on this lease so I know who should be on the property messing with the cows and who shouldn't be on the property. Because these guys, I've seen, I'm going to say 10 or more at different times, just coming onto the property. I think I've seen them feed the cows probably 10 times total in over a year. That's not counting the times that I didn't see them in the wee hours of the night or when I wasn't here and they came in. Anyhow, the guys got in an argument with themselves, amongst themselves, and disagreement, whatever the case may have been, but they haven't come out here together, and both have told me the same thing, which is they're splitting apart, their partnership is done, and that the other one will not be involved anymore. I bring this up to the guardianship attorney and tell him one of them's in jail currently, and I've been feeding his cows, and they have just had 4 calves. The next day, he was out here. He came out here and told me that he has a lease until 2027. The same story I've been getting. Well, a week later, he comes and takes all the cows. So there are no cows currently on this property. None. And I just get a phone call. Because when he left with all his cows, the next day, something told me to go check that gate to see if it was locked still. I had a big chain on it with my lock, and then it was split again for them to have their lock, and they were keeping it secure. I go back over there the next day after he takes his cows, and there's no other lock on it. It's just the chain with my lock, but it's not locked with their lock anymore. So this tells me that he's done. Like, he took his cows, he's done. Like, what's going on? I just get a phone call from the guardianship attorney himself that tells me that the other guy just stopped by here and he couldn't access the property. So I advised him that the other guy took his cows and left the gate unsecure. So I had to relock it with my lock. What's funny is, the last time I did this, about a month or two ago, they still came in the gate. They grinded the chain off. The time before that, they pulled it off the hinges. And these are 3 totally separate guys. So, last year when I asked about these cows, or this lease, or what's going on, who's allowed to be here, who's not, you know, what in the fuck? It's crazy. But he finally got my number, even though I've texted this guy multiple times because of the cows or something that might have happened, and the bull that got, he says, struck by lightning, but I think it got ate by coyotes. And they didn't remove it, and it stunk, and the dogs were getting in it. I had to go over there and burn it, and then throw its carcass in the pond for the gator. I had to get rid of it. They come mowed with a bush hog and a tractor, and still didn't get rid of it. They just mowed right around it. And so now the other guy's gone with all his cows, but now the guy that mowed is needing access to the property. For what? We haven't had cows here in over a week. There's no cows here. So what is he really doing? Like, what is really going on? If I press the issue, the guardianship attorney does not like answering questions, first of all. I'm just really sick of, just because they have a lease as a partnership, that means the lease is over if they're not partners anymore. It's null and void. So, a new lease has to be written up. The wizard doesn't want cows here. He's already expressed that. He wants to build a horse corral for barrel racing and other things for people to come and ride so he can watch them from his porch swing. That's what he wants to do. I told his attorney, guardianship attorney, that last week, and he told me the lease for grazing goes until 2027. If the lease for grazing is not the same lease, then he must be making a new one. I don't understand this shit. I've had it. I really have.